Hello.
How, friends?
How's it going?
What? Tired. How's it going for y'all?
Honey, I'm past tired. What you mean?
Yeah, I'm exhausted today. I'm just tired. But I've been waking up early as crap for physical therapy. Like I have to get up. I have physical therapy at 7 every morning, so I have to get up way before then to get out the house to be there for physical therapy.
I wouldn't make it.
Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays until I got this foot together, Chad.
Chassis, we don't have no sound, pimp.
Chastity, what is your name? Chassis B.
Okay.
Okay.
If you have joined, say hello. Let us know you are here. And stuff.
Hello, friends. Old friends, new friends, friends of friends.
Acquaintances, side pieces, whatever y'all are.
All of it.
All of that.
All of it. How's everybody's Mother's Day?
Great.
Wonderful.
Great. Tierra said, hey, y'all. Hey, TT.
Hey, girl.
Has to be having technical difficulties, but we gonna make it happen.
We're gonna get it together.
We gonna get it together.
Sing it, guys.
If you haven't done so yet, please share this podcast with your family and friends. We're gonna try not to act too ratchet on Mental Health Month. Well, I didn't watch all of last week, so it might be too late for me to say that. But y'all share and stuff and say hello. You got sound now?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think your mic connected though, but it's all right. She like, what in the world is going on? All right, y'all please share, and we're gonna play the intro. We're gonna get this thing started. All right. Wrong video. Bye. Been gone 1 week. Can't operate nothing.
Welcome. Can y'all hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Welcome to Occasionally Posh, where we enjoy life, laughs, and shenanigans. I am your girl, Miss Chassie B.
And I'm Sunshine. I don't know why she do this every week, but welcome. Thanks for joining us for another episode. If you haven't done so yet, I can't even talk. If you haven't done it yet, share us and stuff.
Yes, please do. Please do.
And the lady has been on many of times, but for those who are joining us new, introduce yourself.
Well, since it is Mental Health Awareness Month, I'm going to be professional. My name is Mary J. I am a licensed clinical therapist in North and South Carolina. I am a child forensic interviewer. I am a sexual offender treatment provider, and I am a certified clinical trauma professional. I think that's all of them. So hey y'all, hey.
Hey girl.
Thanks for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you on. You're kind of like the unspoken, guest third host of Occasionally Posh at this point.
I'll be here sometimes. Having me. I'm like, yay.
But we appreciate you joining us and stuff. And we always start with a foreplay. You got foreplay, Jess?
I got a story I'm gonna tell you.
Oh,
you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first. Mine is real quick and easy. I just titled it "These DAMN Kids." Okay. And the post says, my daughter was wearing a flannel hoodie. So I said, hey, the 90s called. And she replied, yeah, because they couldn't text. Dang it. I'm getting tired of these kids owning me.
That's funny.
You can't throw shade at these kids no more. They too smart.
But that just reminded me. I just seen a post right before I got on, and I screenshotted it too. I'm glad that I did because I wasn't gonna remember it verbatim. But it said 90s was kind of ass. Imagine being stuck in the house with no internet. Yuck. So then a person replied back and said they had to put a commercial on TV that said it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? For our parents to remember we existed. We were not stuck in the house, baby.
Not at all. We were definitely
remember that commercial.
Outside.
You don't remember that commercial?
I do not.
I remember.
Oh, I remember that commercial.
Between me and Chastity's age difference, so I know that the commercial was out there.
Right.
Remember that? Do you know where your kids' the street lights are on? Do you know where your kids are? Because that was the thing. Everybody had to be in the house by the time the street lights came on.
Yep.
Shout out 107 Springdale Drive, Shenandoah, all my Far City Spindale people. We were definitely outside. Yeah,
exactly.
We ain't had no choice but to be outside, even if we didn't want to be. They were like, "Go on out there." Especially during the stories. I don't know if you grew up around your grandmas, but your aunties. But when the story was on, you better not be running in and out my house.
My grandma raised me, so I'm very familiar with the Newman and them and Reba Shane from. What was that when Got It Light? Was that
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Got
the
It Light.
And the Restless was Victor and child. I grew up.
Old and the beautiful.
I had to look at In the Heat of the Night.
Stephanie Nim, honey. Good times.
Hey, In the Heat of the Night was good though.
I know. I liked it In the Heat of the Night. Now you probably couldn't pay me to watch it now, but I liked it back then.
I'll watch it now sometime. I ain't got nothing else. It'd be on the Prime for free. I always cry on that same episode when what's her name? Althea got raped. Wasn't that her name Althea? I don't know why. Every time I cry, I got it.
Because Althea. Althea, yes. I remember that. Oh, good times.
Woo! Oh Lord! All right, go ahead with your story.
Y'all. So this past weekend, I had to work. Was it this past weekend? Yeah, I had to work. So I'm out there at my little table, whatever, being nice and friendly. Hey, how you doing? Passing out information. And this man that was not so attractive comes up to the table and he was like, "You are very beautiful." And I was like, "Thank you so much." And I'm thinking that's the end of it. This man leaves the table. He comes back with his wife that looks exactly like him. And
not exactly like him. Go ahead.
And he goes, "Isn't she pretty?" And she was like, "Oh, she is." And then she says, "Would you like to go out to dinner with us today?" And I was like, "I'm married."
That's a straight lie. Oh,
And he was like, "Where's your ring?" I said, "Oh, I don't like to wear it sometimes, especially whenever I'm working outside." And he was like, "Oh, I didn't know that you was married." And I was like, "Yes, I don't think my husband would appreciate me going out with y'all." But y'all, I was so mad because I was like, y'all thought that y'all had a chance with me? And they
don't do that. Don't do that. They had a chance with somebody. They just
nothing beats a fail but a try.
That's right. Don't do them.
I had to pull out my phone. No. Listen, I had to pull out my phone and pull out my camera and look at myself because I was like, I know I was rushing this morning, but damn, like
I am done.
Pissed me off. But on a good note, I did get asked out by another couple that is cute. So I'm excited about this because it's gonna be a cute little date.
Okay. When is the date?
We haven't decided if it's gonna be this weekend or next weekend.
No. Are we looking to be in
a unicorn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Either a unicorn, a throuple, something. Like that's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to settle down with a nice couple.
So for us old heads, what's the difference between a unicorn and a throuple?
So you say like you said, throuple. So a unicorn is kind of like just not really a girlfriend kind of sort of thing, if I'm saying this correctly. But then a throuple, like you're actually in a relationship, like everybody is everybody's boyfriend and everybody's girlfriend. Like everybody go together. And there's supposed to be like communication, very open communication amongst everybody. Like it might be a group chat. Y'all might even get on the phone and do three-way. With the unicorn, it's more like more or less that couple, they have their thing, and I'm just there every once in a while. Like, hey y'all, how y'all doing? Came in to spice it up a little bit. But yeah, so I got a date either this weekend or next weekend. And the girl, she approached me and she was the person that asked me out on the date. So I'm excited.
Ooh, cool beans.
I used to call myself a unicorn all the time, and then people thought that I was saying that I wanted to be in their relationship, and I was like, no, like I mean, like my personality, my hair, the color, and they were like, oh, and I was like, bro,
I ain't never heard of a unicorn, so obviously I wouldn't. I'd have been.
She out here disappointing people, pissing them off.
Not for me, thanks.
Getting their hopes up and stuff.
Not for me.
Tara said these kids is ruthless. Absolutely. Nikki said, hey, little pookie butts. Hey, Nikki.
Pickle butt, sugar wugga wugga.
She said, how you know it wasn't friendly?
Because they started with the compliments first, and then after the compliments, they asked me out on a date. It wasn't friendly. It wasn't friendly. I could tell by the lust in their eyes and the snag between their teeth.
I'm done. Done. She said, how they know to ask you?
I don't know.
She said, did you have a pineapple on your shirt or something? What does that mean?
No, I didn't have. So pineapple.
Look,
a pineapple mean I had to think if I had a pineapple, but a pineapple means that it's like the secret code of you're into swinging and all that kind of stuff. But no, I didn't have anything pineapple.
Yeah, how you know this stuff? I'm playing. I'm just playing.
Sierra said, don't let the Liberian look fool ya.
Okay. Period, poo. I done been in that game too long. We just called it threesomes and stuff back in my day. We have all these different names.
Dynamics for relationships now. I love to see it. I'm, all about what makes you happy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm about to be a unicorn skipping through the life.
I ain't mad at you, Playboy. Get in where you, boo.
Do you? All right, we're gonna talk about Gabrielle Union. Somebody who actually watches the podcast asked me and Chad to be a question, and I didn't know what they was talking about initially. But the question she would ask was, you are worth 40 million and your man, and I put woman, is worth 140, and y'all 50-50 the bills. How do you feel about this thought? So before we even go into Gabrielle and what she said and all of that, because I think people blew it way out of proportion in my opinion. But anyway, before we go into all of that, what do you initially think about this particular question? Or this statement?
I want people to stop coming to social media and letting it dictate their relationships. Like, I see questions like this so much. What do you bring to the table? All of these type of stupid, like, who cares? And figure out what works in your household as far as paying bills and go from there. Because if you letting what Facebook dictates or tells you how bills are supposed to be split, because I make pretty decent money, right? Like, and not a lot of people probably would make the amount of money that I make, considering I have multiple streams of income, right? Mm-hmm. So with that being said, because my dude is the breadwinner, I mean, yeah, if I'm the breadwinner, but my dude is a dude, he's supposed to pay majority of the bills because he's the dude, or am I supposed to pay majority of the bills because I'm the breadwinner? That's right. Like, how does that work?
I don't even like the term breadwinner per se. We are partners. Like
exactly, it's a
we got to get out of this old school mentality. People be on this old school mentality with these new school ways. It ain't gonna work. Either you gonna be there or you gonna be here. Like you gonna have to pick one.
Make a decision. So I don't know. Like I said, I feel like people gotta stop letting social media dictate what their relationship look like, and stop asking about who's splitting the bills and who's bringing what to the table and who is the table, and just be happy in your damn relationship and hush.
And most people probably saying that probably ain't happy. But go ahead, Chase B. What's your thoughts?
I agree.
I seen somebody say earlier that people, and I love the post because it was funny. People are always saying, hold on, please, because I screenshotted it because I sent it in the group chat. That's what I've been over here talking about with my cousin and my sister. So it was only people raised by single mothers, only niggas that was raised by single mothers asked, what do women offer? I offer the same thing your daddy did. Nothing. Scream.
Wow.
People that do all of this about what are you bringing to the table? Like, do you even have it? Like, if you have a table, what I'm bringing to it really ain't even up for discussion. You good regardless. So what do it matter what I bring?
Agree and disagree.
I agree to an extent. I don't like the terminology of bringing something to the table.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't like the whole bringing to the table conversation. Like that, it's annoying at this point because what exactly are we talking about bringing to the table? It's so much more to a relationship than financial.
Right.
Right. Like, you could be paying all my bills, but if you're a trash partner, it doesn't matter that you're paying all my bills because things are lacking in other aspects. So that's what I mean about how I'm tired of hearing about what you bring to the table, because what does it matter? Like,
right.
But go ahead, Shane.
And reality is a lot of the women back in the day who did live like that wasn't happy. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
True.
Like they sit there and fake it till they make it all their life.
There's a lot of women like that now. That if you're a camp woman and a man if you're totally dependent on a man, that means that I would think that there's, even if it's inadvertently, not even saying that your partner is a trash partner, but 9 times out of 10 in this economy, if a person is completely holding down a household by themselves and you guys are a family, they're probably not even in the house like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be something lacking. I think people don't really sit and take the time to really think about what they're posting. And we talked about this before on here. People just like having hot takes. People just like having something to say, and I just want people to push the hell up. But go ahead.
Go ahead, Chaz. I'm sorry.
So I agree that everybody should mind the household that they live in and don't let social media run how you want to run your household. But baby, if I'm making 40 million and my man is making 140 million, we are not splitting bills 50-50. Where she said, I didn't go and listen to the whole interview or read what she said or whatever.
Listened to it, and I'm ready to talk about it because people took it way out of context. But go ahead.
But she said that she might be homeless or some mess like that, and I was like, "Girl, what?" Like, I know she was whatever it was. It was probably like exaggerating or whatnot, but I am not paying. I'm not going 50-50 and then have to be like, well, if I don't get a movie this month, I might be homeless, which I know it's not going to happen. But, you know, that's me. And I was thinking about it in the scheme of if I made 40,000 and my man made 140,000.
That's two different, totally different brackets, though. You can't compare the two.
But why can't you?
Millions?
Because it's their bracket, but that's their bracket. And I'm thinking about it in my bracket. It's still a significant difference in the money. I'm not saying that my bracket is the same as theirs. I'm just thinking of it because in my eyes, 140,000 and 40,000 makes more sense to me than 40 million and 140 million because I have never seen that type of money. It's more relatable. And so I'm thinking about it in that type of eyes. And to me, I would think that the person that's making 140,000 is going to pay at least majority of the bills. The person that's making 40,000 is going to be responsible for the food, maybe the lights, the water bill, maybe making sure everybody's underwear ain't got holes in it. You know, those types of things. Right. Not 50-50 straight down the middle. Right. I think that's a bit absurd for them to have that much of a difference in their payments. But to each their own. If they want to do 50-50, that's on them.
Right. So if you go to listen to the interview, which I have a little piece of it I can play, but the 50-50 part that she mentioned literally had maybe 2% of the statement that she was making. People just took that and ran with it. She was talking about the mentality of, even though I done made it to a certain point and I'm no longer in that marriage that I was in when I was treated and paying all the bills and things of that nature, and I'm also no longer at a certain point in my life where I'm financially struggling, things of that nature, I still had a mentality of I always got to go get it or something going to happen. I'm going to be broke. That's literally the topic that she's talking about. Oh. She literally just halfly mentioned, you know, I can't say nothing about here the household because we pay 50-50. And people took that thing.
And her 50-50 is probably like totally different than what people are thinking is 50-50.
Honey. And then she going to mention something about, you know, he has another household to take care of and she has another household to take care of. Well, I don't know what that is, blase. But literally, but we know he had kids outside of her, so that's probably what she's talking about. But the point is, there's a lot of factors we don't know to be assuming. Right. We don't even know he may want to pay the bill. She may not want him to. Like, we don't even know that. Right. She may be a woman to be like, no, I don't want to do that. Now, would I do that? No. I wholeheartedly believe that you pay bills based on what you make, even if it's the woman. And that's the other piece I want to talk about with women, because all these women who saying that if it was flipped the other way around, they was paying most of the bills, they'd be mad. But anywho, we know. I'm just saying. Like, again, people just have these certain mentalities and they just want to half live it, and they get on my nerves. But anywho, so yeah, I'll play the piece that they're talking about, but it's still not the whole video. She literally was just talking about how people struggle with, they got a title for it, like a scarcity mindset or something like that is what people call it. Like, you, even though you have made it, you done made, I even had that mindset to say, I'm not rich by no means. Let me be clear.
I definitely have that mindset.
I ain't rich by no means, but I'm always like, I got to do this. I got to make sure this is good. It was a time I didn't eat. I got to make sure that I always in that mind frame of, I got to grind or make sure I'm doing what I need to do to take care of these bills. Yes. That's literally what she was talking about. But people took that little bit of piece.
Of course, they always do that.
It makes for a good hot take. Yeah, it's all about a good hot take.
It makes for good hot take. But I'll play the video. I don't even know if the piece of video that I got would do it justice, but I'll play it.
Not using my anxiety and scarcity mindset to be my engine, which is hard. It's weird to say I'm head of household because in this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts this, there's always this like gorilla on your back that it is like, you better work, you better work. You know, you gonna sleep in? You know, somebody might not eat. You gotta work. And it's hard. It's hard to let that go. So I'm working on that.
So as you can see, she literally was talking about her mindset and how she thinks about things and about, you know, how he's having to grind and things of that nature. But they took, like I said.
Did she freeze? Okay, so she froze.
I went to go cut on more lights.
Okay. But yeah, so Sunshine froze. We'll see what's going on with her. I was like, wait a minute, what happened? So anyway, after hearing, did you hear the video?
Yeah, I was up moving around in the room, but yeah, I heard it.
So after hearing the video, do you think different? Do you think the same? Do you like?
I like I said, I understand the scarcity mindset, like being worried that, you know, you're going to do without something. She messaged us. She said her internet went out.
I figured. Spectrum needs to give everybody a free month because they're getting on my nerves. Doggone it.
I'm AT&T, so I don't even got to deal with them. But my work internet is Spectrum, and I had some issues this morning with them. So, but so when it comes to that, right? Like I think about my sister. Everybody knows my sister is very well, like she's very successful, right? And nine times out of 10, the relationships that she gets into, she makes majority of the money. I don't care what a man does. It's very rare that they make the money my sister does. She owns a car dealership. Mm-hmm. So when she and I talk about the dynamics of the relationships that she gets in and carrying majority of the weight, she's always had the mindset that she's fine with doing that if the person meets her needs in other ways and the person is not totally dependent on her, right? Like they can still, like Sunshine was saying earlier, carry some of the weight. Like you paying, or you had said you still gonna pay, the minor bills. Like I'm not doing everything. I don't understand what the problem is. But hey, girl, hey.
This dang Spectrum, I'm firing them as soon as I can. I'm on the hot spot, so we're gonna see how long it lasts. But go ahead.
Oh Lord.
I don't know what I missed. I'm sorry.
We were just talking about basically what I had said earlier. Like we talked about my sister before on here, how she's very successful, right? I was telling it's very rare that she meets a mate that makes the amount of money that she makes. She owns a car dealership. It's not a lot of people out here that own a car dealership, right? So my sister always enters a relationship with the mindset that she's fine with being, carrying majority of the bills as long as the person meets her needs in other ways and the person is not totally dependent on her. Like Chastity was saying earlier, by all means, pay a water bill, pay a power bill, but it's unrealistic for me to think that you can pay my mortgage, right? I have a house that's big enough to accommodate 6 children and a nanny. You probably can't pay my mortgage, but you can pay my power bill, that kind of stuff. So, but it goes into like what?
She said, bring her a coffee, she be happy. I'm done.
And that's what I mean about minding your own relationship. Like
minding your own relationship. I'm gonna read some of the comments and then I want to. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm behind. If we are living in my range of 40 million, that's fine. If we are living on a $140 million budget, not fine, Eloy, because I can't afford 50 of that, sir. That was one of the points I wanted to make too. Because we don't even know what their bills look like. Their bills might not even be the 40 million.
It might not.
You know what I'm saying? We also don't even know. They might not even have separate accounts or nothing. They might, because a lot of rich people, they just one pile of money.
Yeah.
In one account. You know what I'm saying?
So rich and have one pile of money.
It's just so many factors that we are missing for us to have such a big opinion about a situation. That hurts the mess out of me.
But it happens because it's the internet and they always clip just a little 5-10 second part of something for the hot takes and for the hot topics and to get the conversation started. So it's going to always happen. People are going to always have their opinion about what somebody else said because they intentionally put those hot takes out to start the conversations.
Right. And shoot, for all we know, he might be paying $40 million in child support.
Very well true.
When she knew she was getting herself in, well, for most of them, besides that one, when she knew she was getting herself into. So it's like, I don't know. It's just
Windows was a love child, baby.
Yeah. Love child. I would not have shared that though. That family always oversharing.
All the time.
I mean, that is something that we wouldn't have known without her saying it. And she probably didn't. In the moment, she probably was just being transparent too. Sometimes you don't know what people gonna use against you.
Right. I feel like they do overshare a lot of things, but I do like the fact that some people overshare a lot of things because sometimes there's conversations that need to be had that people don't have or didn't have back in the past. And because people have now became open to being more being more open about what's going on in their life, what's going on in their household, what went on with them as children. People are having conversations and realizing that some things were absolutely 100% wrong. Do I think they put out too much of that information? Yes. But I like the fact that people do share things, because I've learned from people's situations, from people oversharing, and like just going back and doing research. And I'm like, you know what? This was not right. Or
Yeah. I mean, it also makes them more realistic too, because for whatever reason, we think celebrities live on a different plane than us. And I'm like, they people just like us. They just got more money. They still people. They still going through the same trauma and the same fact that they ain't went to seek therapy and laid on nobody's couch. And you know what I'm saying? She probably still emotionally dealing with her first marriage, because she mentions that in the interview, and he probably still dealing with, you know, all the backlash
drama
from his situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all just people, and you can fix that by seeking therapy. So this is a good time for us to show our sponsor. Are you seeking therapy outside of non-traditional hours in a non-traditional setting? Would you like to experience therapy in the comfort of your own home? Do you feel restricted to the therapist in your area code? If you check any of these boxes, Eclectic Clinical Solutions is here to help by currently offering 100% HIPAA compliant virtual sessions. This means that you are able to show up in a way that's most authentic to you, whether it be in your comfortable clothes, with your fur baby, or with a cup of tea or your favorite blanket. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to therapy, and Eclectic Clinical Solution believes in utilizing an eclectic therapeutic approach grounded in CBT practices so that your therapeutic journey is as unique as you are. Eclectic Clinical Solutions is LGBTQ plus informed, friendly, and ally, and licensed to offer therapy in North and South Carolina. Please visit www.eclecticclinical.com to schedule your first visit. Thank you, Eclectic Clinical Solutions, for sponsoring Occasionally Posh. Look at her. Look at her. Is she right there?
you the sugar wooga wooga.
Sugar wooga.
Y'all are absurd.
Thank you, Mary J, the hood hippie therapist. I can't even talk. The internet done jacked me up. For supporting Occasionally. If you haven't done so yet, seek therapy, guys. I promise it helps you a lot. It gives you tools that you need. It help you work through that trauma. You know, that stuff you want to talk about, but you can't really talk to your friends or family about without being judged. Seek therapy for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm an advocate for it myself, so please do. And this is good.
I gave somebody your number recently. I gave somebody your information. I was like, girl, here. I was at an event, and it was a suicide prevention event, and it was very good. And y'all, I want to talk about the fact I was so proud of the amount of Black men that was in the building, and the amount of clergy, Black clergy that was in the building that wanted to learn how to separate God and therapy. That right there made my heart so warm. And I hope that these things continue to go on around the state, around the country, whatever, and more of the ministry people are coming in and trying to figure out what to do and how to help their members. And it was really good. And I love the fact that, like, it was mostly Black men in there. And I was like, yes, Black men. Yes. Yes.
Power to the Black men. Power to the Black man. All right, well, we're gonna close out this topic. I did want to cover some of the comments that was made on our post. April says she don't like it at all. If anything, they should have some type of business or money-making situation that bills come from. With that type of money, they can make the investments or set up the business up. And we need to work on flipping my 40 to 80 or 100 million. With 140 million and married, he has all the resources to provide. He don't need my little 40 million. I mean, that's one-sided, because we don't know what his debt look like, what his bad habits is, what, like I said, what his child support payment is.
all them kids.
All
He got
that.
our kids. How many kids he got? Oh,
I think
let's
it's
not
4
talk about
outside of her, right?
it. I think so.
I think
Mhm.
so. But it's a lot of factors we don't know. I agree now. Don't get me wrong. We need to figure out a way to build it, to grow and all that. If I had 40 million, I definitely could have a business and grow and whatever and make more money. Everybody also ain't meant to own businesses either. So let's not make it seem like that's
Ooh,
always
child.
the next move. Like I feel like that's where people go to. You got money, get a business. And then 10 failed businesses later. You still out here trying to run a business. It ain't meant for everybody. Okay.
Or
Let's be
just
clear.
one failed business that you need to shut down because you have horrible customer service. Who told you to open up this business?
Facebook, social media, always telling people
PPP loan.
LLC, do this, do that, not knowing everything that comes. Opening Eclectic has been a tremendous eye opener for me. Like I'm thinking, I'm gonna open my own practice, yay, and that's it. Why ain't nobody tell me that business cards is different weights and that you need to have good weighted business cards? Why? And it's little things like that. Why ain't nobody tell me about centering X, Y, and Z on my letterhead to make? And that's just little nitpicky stuff for me. But when we get to talking about these LLCs and taxes and fees, and all these different upkeep for this business.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it's not even that. Some people, everybody's not meant to own a business. Some people are just meant to work, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with just freaking working.
Facts. Can we normalize?
Can we normalize that?
I mean, it's already normal because we doing it, but for some reason, people in their mind own a business, open a business, do the business, be a black business. I'm like, hey, for everybody.
And people need to realize that if everybody opens a business, who's going to work for you? Because eventually you're going to need somebody to work for you if you get your business off the way that you want it to be off. For like the big business. Say if you go out there and get a franchise for McDonald's, you're going to need somebody to work for you. It don't need to be 10,000 Walmart, McDonald's in little old Sanford.
That's facts. Yeah. But yeah, I agree to her that, you know, they can grow their money and whatever, blah, blah. But I also want to be mindful that we don't know the whole story. I just hate giving information or advice or criticism all sides. Because, you know, it's his, hers, and in the middle. We ain't even really get her side. We just got a snippet. So it's like, I get it. I agree. Again, I am a household where I feel like if I make more money, I pay more bills. If he make more money, he pay more bills. You know, and we help each other grow. I'm that person, regardless if it's me making more money or him making more money, which again, I feel like a lot of these people who have a problem with it wouldn't be feeling the same if it was them with the 140.
Right.
Him with the 40. I'm just saying.
I've always paid the bills. So and I stand on what I stand on.
Yolanda said I would be cool with it. The thought that my man would be worth worth 140 million. We wouldn't have to worry about the bills or anything. Just live life the way it's supposed to be. And then I asked her about, you know, if is it a problem or mindset. She said some people think 50-50 is wrong. There's some that believe the male should be the breadwinner. I believe that if both have net worth like that, who care who pay the bills as long as the bills get paid.
Period.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I'm still gonna get half of that 140 million. Doggone it. If I spend all my money on the bills, then I'm gonna be pinching into that bank account at Target and Starbucks and all that stuff.
That's the other part that confused me, because I really feel like people don't realize when you married, it ain't yours or mine.
Nope,
it's ours.
Mine's ours.
I can't.
Mine. No.
I can't. It's especially in the government, especially when you get divorced, it's ours. It ain't no you had a separate account, I had a separate account, you made 20, I made. They don't care. They put all your money together and say this your part and this your part. They don't care.
Perfect.
And I want to move on, but one thing, I listened to a podcast and the lady on it was talking about, you know, she's sick and tired of this stereotype or this storyline of men has to provide and protect. I want a man that provide and protect. I want a man to provide and protect. She said 2 things are happening. The man is learning that all they have to do is provide and protect, and now they sorry in every other avenue. And that's a whole word by itself. That's a whole word by itself.
Snaps, what is her cash out?
Honey, or the man is providing and protecting, and now you miserable because now you realize, oh no, I actually need emotional support. I need somebody to talk to. I need somebody where I can go to. Y'all so focused on this narrow-minded provide and protect, you losing out on everything else in life.
And that's
still unhappy.
Exactly what I said earlier. This man, it does no good if this man is paying all the bills, but he's lacking everywhere else. So you sitting at home, you well cared for, your bills is paid. That's one thing that you don't got to stress about. But he's emotionally tone deaf and not self-aware when it comes to anything else. But all you said you needed was somebody to provide and protect.
Provide and protect.
So what do you need?
Provide and protect. And then you got the nerve to turn around a few years later in therapy, be mad at them because they don't help with the kids and they don't clean the house and they don't do, all this, go to teacher parent conferences. And he like, oh, you told me I had to do was provide and protect.
Baby, I got this Glock and the rent is paid. The mortgage is paid.
That's all you told me. And what's also happening is they also not learning, because we all can learn in relationships, men and women. Let's be clear. So it's like, it's also not even given the avenue to even learn it, because you screaming everywhere, especially on social media. Well, my man good. He paid me out. He paid the bills. Meanwhile, you over there lonely and sad and depressed.
Whole time he just took my homegirl out. Like, girl, bye. He paying her bills too. So yeah, we need to get out this old school mind frame. And again, we done said it on this podcast a many times. Figure out what's best for you in your relationship, and stop. Just get out of this whole era of this is how a man's supposed to look, this is how a woman's supposed to look. It don't matter. What matters is what makes you happy. Point blank, period. And be okay with it. And guess what? If you ain't sharing your business, it don't matter somebody like it or not.
Yeah.
All right, it's mental health month. We got to at least talk some mental health stuff. All right, so we brought on the therapist so we can talk about some mental health topics. She actually made a post on her page asking people for like questions or myths or whatever that they hear about mental health and blase. And I pulled from that of some topics that we can ask her and pick her brain and hear the truth and talk about and discuss and blase. But the first comment on it that I seen, and I want you to give a thought on, is OCD and bipolar. She said bipolar is that really is that word? No, folks. Okay, folks think they are cute to claim. I actually never heard that, so explain the therapist.
So it goes back to hot takes. It goes back to some of the stuff that we see on Facebook. I'm OCD because I like a clean house. I'm OCD because I'm this. That's not what OCD is. Let's talk about the people, and this is something a homegirl Reagan and I had talked about the other day as far as OCD. Let's talk about the OCD people that have to check their lock 50 times before they leave, and so now they're late for work. Or the person that can't sleep at night because they have to go and click the stove. That's what OCD is. But people they're not knowledgeable of these terms, so they're going off of what they think it means. Oh, I'm OCD, bipolar. Oh, my mood switch. I'm bipolar. Please stop that.
Right, please
stop that. One, you're doing yourself a disservice, because stop listening to your TikTok therapists and your homegirls and all of these people that are telling y'all what these terms are, when that's definitely not what it means. Right. Being bipolar has nothing to do with your mood shifting from one minute I'm happy and bipolar, these manic episodes where this person ain't slept in 3 or 4 days because their mind is so busy and they're in a manic state, or these people that are so depressed that they haven't gotten out of bed in 2 or 3 days, haven't had the energy to shower, eat, take care of their kids. These are the things that we're talking about with bipolar episodes. So people claim these type of things, as far as the OCD, because I keep a clean house. That's not cleaning. Is not. That just means that you like a clean house.
Right.
That's what that means. Your mood switching back and forth just might mean 1 minute you happy and the next minute you sad. That does not mean that you have bipolar. But because people are so, I can't think of any other word to use but ignorant of when they use these terms, that they claim things that it's not true. And it's very upsetting, right? Like, you wouldn't do that with anything else. You wouldn't say that you have cancer if you don't. You wouldn't say that you're HIV positive if you're not. So why don't we treat mental illness the same way that we treat any other illness? Why don't we allow, the same respect and the same courtesy when it comes to mental health diagnosis that we do any other type of diagnosis?
Yeah.
And something, it really bothers me that that people, because I honestly think that people think that it's cute to label themselves as OCD and bipolar, because I'm like, you're really not. And until you have dealt with somebody that has actually dealt with these actual situations, you would never understand what it is to actually be bipolar or OCD. Like, it tears my nerves up, because I'm like, you're not. You're really not OCD. You're really not bipolar. You may be a little crazy, but you're not bipolar. You might be depressed, but you're not crazy. You're not bipolar. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then a lot of the times the people that use it are the people that be like, well, actually, or they'll correct your if you misspell something, they're like, well, this is how it's spelled. Oh, bitch, you know how to spell, but you don't know the definition of bipolar and OCD. Miss me with the bullshit.
I need you to do it.
I've learned, and I'm not even going to say recently, like since I've been a therapist, that it's cool now to have a diagnosis. It's cool to say that you have a therapist. We don't think like that because that's not our generation, right? But younger, the people in their 20s and younger, that's a thing. I've had clients, me and my significant other talked about what we talked about in therapy, and that's a thing. So therapy and just think about, like I said, the TikTok therapist and the way that people get on social media now, and there's all of these buzzwords now when it surrounds mental health, but they're using them incorrectly because you don't have the knowledge to really you're just saying shit. You're just saying shit.
Just talking to be talking.
To me, as somebody that went to school and I dedicate my life to this, and it's super offensive, like Chastity just said, to people that actually have these diagnoses. As always, transparent, and I've talked about it many times on here. My mother is bipolar and has a schizoaffective disorder. I had one hell of a childhood growing up because my mama was bipolar. And trust me, it never consisted of her being happy and sad 1 minute. You know what I'm saying? So it irks my soul. Oh, I'm bipolar. I'll flip on you. That's not what bipolar is. You doing all
just crazy and you don't know how to handle your emotions, and you don't know how to
talk to people. You ain't got no emotional awareness. You you might have a variety of things, but I don't think bipolar is one of them. So.
I mean, the ignorance of self-diagnosing yourself is a whole nother topic for a whole nother day.
Because I done self-diagnosed myself plenty of times.
Stay off WebMD, people.
TikTok. Listen to these people that have, what is it? How long is a TikTok video? 3 minutes?
That's the longest. That's the longest.
Yeah.
And so in school, we're taught we cannot diagnose people based off of one conversation, right? Like, technically you can't. Technically, I'm not going to get all the information that I need from you in 45 minutes to make a good diagnosis. If I can't do it in 45 minutes with my 3 degrees and my 8 years of school, how in the hell is this person that you listen to for 3 minutes gonna tell you what's wrong with you? And they
because she knew what was wrong with me. I was going through that exact thing at that exact moment. I'm telling you, this is what people are thinking. I don't agree with it, but I'm telling you, that's what they're thinking. Because they're like, oh my God, like I literally just went through this. And TikTok star Barbara Jones knows exactly what I'm going through, and I am totally bipolar. Like, that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, I've had people be mad at me that I won't diagnose them with what they think that they should be diagnosed with. Literally,
Why? Why do you want to be diagnosed with something you ain't got? That's a little scary in itself.
there's a whole book, people. This thick ass book that has a literal criteria that you have to meet in order to be diagnosed with anything. So I can't just diagnose you with something because that's what you feel like you have, child. If the DSM-5 don't say that that's what you got, you don't have it. You don't have it. It don't work like that, boo boo. It don't work like that. We can talk about it, but it don't work like that.
And then even if you listen to like the TikTok videos and all that kind of stuff, and sometimes like a clock is not wrong twice. It's right at least once. So if you take a 3-minute video, it might be one sentence in there that you can take, and you take that sentence and you put it into Google and you research, and then you research some more, and then you research some more, and then you research some more, and you keep researching until you figure something out. But don't just go off that 3-minute video.
Right. If anything, ask your doctor about it and go from there.
And sometimes they don't know what they're talking about either, because doctors be practicing. That's what it says, practice.
All of it is a practice, right? Everything is a practice. Even if you're coming to me, right, and you're telling me stuff, you're literally only telling me what you want me to know. That's why I said, even in a 45-minute session, I can give you a diagnosis for insurance purposes, but later on down the road, it might be that you bring up something in a conversation that literally changes my whole diagnosis for you. That's why we have addendums, because things like that happen. So what do? We go in and we make an addendum to your diagnosis, because what we originally thought is not what we thought now, because we have what? New information.
Like, oh, bitch is really crazy. I actually was listening to this podcast the other day, and it's not the same, but kind of similar. So she was saying that she had I can't remember if she thought she had an STD or something. But anyway, she went to the doctor to get checked out, and she like kind of lied to the doctor. She gave him like half truths, and the doctor was like, "You're gonna have to stop lying to me. I can't heal you if you're gonna lie to me."
Good job, doctor. Because our doctors don't do that. Good job.
It was like, and she like said like a whole bunch of other things that he had said, and I was like, that makes so much sense. But a lot of times we go in there and we lie to doctors, or we tell them what we think they want to hear, but we really need to tell them what they need to hear.
Right. Right. And I can honestly say I'm very transparent when I go to my doctors or my therapists or things of that nature. But if I sit here and really think about it, even when you start with a new therapist, they ask you why you're here and things of that nature. And I always tell them, I was diagnosed with depression many, many years ago, blase, blase. And then we have our conversation. They take my word for it initially. Most of them. I ain't saying all of them. Right. They do take your word for it. But that's within the regards of I'm going to be truthful. And I am. But if you ain't being truthful, you literally are, the first 3 appointments is a waste. You literally just wasted your time and your therapist's time for what? Like, what were you trying to get out of it?
If the therapist is going to ask some good questions, you come in and you tell me you were diagnosed with depression. Well, who gave you that diagnosis? It's that simple. Who gave you that diagnosis?
My grandma.
Do you have to support that diagnosis? And then when we go in and we do our little clinical assessment, we'll put depression diagnosis by history of X, Y, and Z date. And that's why we have you sign these great confidentiality and HIPAA, that we can exchange information between your doctors and your past therapists, so that we can make sure that we're doing you a service instead of a disservice.
Right. Well, I know for a fact that, I have employed insurance and things of that nature. So they have the avenues and the staff and the resources to double check and things. Is it the same for the low income who's billing through Medicaid or Medicare? Like, I know a lot of them is overworked and underpaid. So do they have the same time to deal with somebody lying to them and them figuring it out?
Have to. And it's not even about Medicaid or any of that. It's about your therapist, right? I worked for the company that I was with doing outpatient therapy previous to my full-time job and me opening Eclectic. We took Medicaid. But when we were doing these clinical assessments for Medicaid, because like I said, you have to have a diagnosis through insurance. They won't see a person unless they have a diagnosis. It was still, this person is diagnosed with X, Y, and Z by history. And this is where that history came from this doctor on this date. I don't care if it was X amount of years ago. If that was your diagnosis, I need to be able to see that and put it on paper. I can't go off of Barbara Johnson from TikTok saying that you're a manic depressive or that you're schizoaffective. I need to know that that's a real diagnosis. So I need to know that that's what I'm working with so that I can really help you.
Right. That's real. Tia said there are a lot of life coaches popping up. I know that's on a different level than Lady Mary, but are they safe to listen to for advice? They seem to have clients too, or people go to them for a different purpose than mental health. So I guess she asking about. I guess overall she asking, how do you feel about life coaches?
I hate life coaches, and I'm being honest.
A strong word. Ooh,
I hate life coaches.
Remember an old girl that was talking about the low
vibrational plate? That was a life coach.
Do what you will with that information.
I mean, she's a terrible life coach, but I have seen some life coaches that do some things.
I'm not going to be that critical because so there are a lot of people that are licensed therapists that have all of this schooling, that have all of these certifications, that are going into life therapy. I mean, not life therapy, life coaching. And you want to know why? Because people will pay for a life coach before they'll pay for a therapist. You want to know why? Because there's no stigma behind having a life coach, but there's a stigma behind having a therapist.
But don't you have to pay for a life coach out of pocket? But your insurance will pay for a therapist.
Money for a life coach. Bro,
paying out of pocket. Ain't no insurance paying
life
for that.
Coaches are charging when they have these good seminars where they having everybody come, like old girl with her cookout. I think from what I have read that she was charging
thousands.
It was thousands for that one-time event.
And then that little bit of food on their plates. Like, girl, if I'm paying $1,000, I'm gonna need some immaculate food. Like them shrimps, I don't even eat shrimp, and them shrimps look piss poor. Like, miss me with that.
So, I'm also not paying thousands of dollars for you to talk down on me like I could have just got in the hood for $2.
Hey, I could have went to my grandma's house.
I could have got that for free. That was not inspirational at all. Okay, let's be clear.
So to answer her question, life coaches, I mean, I guess it would depend on what it is that you're looking for, right? What are you trying to get out of the situation? A life coach is Inyana is a life coach, and everybody love Inyana Van Zandt and think that this lady is this wonderful therapist, and that lady ain't got nobody's therapist, nothing. She's a life coach.
Neither does Dr. Phil.
Right. They get on there and they talk crazy, and they offer you these short-term solutions. And that's what I feel kind of sort of like life coaching can be, depending on where you get it from. Like I said, there are some therapists now that are going into life coaching because people would rather pay for life coaching than therapy, but they have to keep those entities separate as well. Be clear on that. I cannot offer life coaching under Eclectic Clinical Solutions. I would have to start a whole nother business to keep ethically, you know what I'm saying? The things for the board, just all types of things. I would have to keep that separate. So just be mindful of who it is that you're talking to or what it is that you're talking to them about. Because with life coaches, I don't think that there's a code of ethics that they have to abide by. I don't think that there's HIPAA regulations that they have to abide by because there's no governing board for them. Whereas with licensed therapists, we do have a code of ethics. And I could be wrong, but I've never heard of a life coach having to take a test or having, a board. No, Inyana is not a therapist. She just asked. Inyana.
I mean, in reality, what I do on a day-to-day is a life coach.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm mentoring people through their social issues, they social determinants of health is what we call it on this side of things. But in reality, that's what I'm a full-blown life coach.
Yeah.
Girl,
But
go ahead and license that.
I would
Get an LLC and own your own
But let me
company,
be
boo.
clear, I would never give mental health diagnosis advice. I would clearly go to the care managers, whoever, and be like, man.
And I
this is out of my scope of pride.
Knowing they role, right? And that's not.
Right.
I feel like people, when I get upset about people giving out piss poor mental health advice and they're not a professional, I think people feel like I'm being an elitist or I'm having an elitist attitude. And I've encountered that. But here's the thing. My homegirl Brittany is a lawyer. I would never give out law advice because that ain't what the hell I went to school.
That ain't my scope of practice.
My homegirl Reagan owns a massage. She's a massage therapist. I don't know a trapezoid from a picker. I don't even know what them things are.
She's gonna pick her.
I did that thing. So
right, but I get it.
In my lane. You know what I'm saying? I stay in my lane. And I would appreciate it if everybody stayed in their lane.
Everybody.
Eventually, you're gonna do a person way more harm than you do.
Right. I mean, it's the same as even if outside of like healthcare and things of that nature. If you go build a house, you don't see the contractor talking about how to wire electricity in a house and vice versa. They know they roles. They know I'm here to do the electric part. You here to build the house and make sure it's stable.
And
point blank period.
Giving good advice does not make you a therapist. Makes you a good friend, probably a good person, but it does not mean that you're a good therapist. I'm so sorry, friend. That's not.
I'm sorry.
It's not what that means.
Your ministry may just mean you're a positive light. Yeah. That don't mean make it a business. Well, we say earlier, everybody don't need to have a business.
Right. Like I was talking to Reagan the other day and I was telling her I had a situation going on and I told her, well, I'd rather not talk about it to my friends until I have a chance to process it with my therapist. Period. And I'm a therapist. I value what my friends have to say about a situation, but if I'm really trying to process some information or process a situation without a person that, I love having a dog in this fight, without a person that has a dog in this fight, then I don't want it. I don't want to discuss it with my homegirls that are going to cloud my judgment or influence what I'm thinking. I want to talk to my therapist first, and then I'm going to come chop it up with y'all after I process it with my therapist.
And that's really what you want. Like whenever you going through or venting or whatever the case may be, I know in the moment we feel like we want somebody who's going to tell us what we need to hear and be that person who's going to rah us up. But reality of it is you need somebody who ain't going to do that. You need somebody going to be like, all right, I understand how you feel, but at the same time, did you think of A, B, C, D, E, F, and G?
Let's break it
Let's break it
like that because of X, Y, and Z instead of, well, girl, if I was you, because girl, if I was you, ain't what you need to hear.
Right.
Girl, if I was you, ain't gonna help you process a situation. Girl, if I was you, well, you're not me. Period. It just don't get no simpler than that.
And even if you was me, that don't mean you handling it right.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a epiphany. You know how the light bulb. That was a moment for me where she was like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, I appreciate you asking what's going on, but I'm not ready to talk about it with my friends yet. I'll come back and circle back to the homegirls after I have a chance to chop it up with my therapist.
Right. And you have to always be evolving. I know we need to move on, but you have to always be evolving to even evaluate yourself as a friend in the moment. I have came to myself and say self, and myself said, huh? And I have said, that was terrible advice you gave. You gave that advice on pure emotion, on pure the fact that you dealt with that same dude or that same baby mama 3-4 years ago, and you said their health ain't nothing, and then you thought about it and was like, you know what? I probably should have just told her she needed to seek some therapy. I've been that person.
Yeah.
It's okay to initially do wrong and be like, okay, let's rewind it. Let's start with that.
I told you. What I had meant
what I really meant was,
yeah.
but a lot of us won't even do that because our pride. Because we
Yeah.
gotta be right, or we don't want to look a certain way, or blase blase. So anywho, we can talk about this all night. Let's go to the next one. Explain narcissism.
That
I
man
don't gotta
that
explain it because
that has
everybody on
a-
TikTok has explained it already. Everybody on
have it.
TikTok has dated a narcissist. Everybody that has had a piss poor mate has dated a narcissist. Every damn body is a narcissist. Okay, so boom. First of all, let's be real clear. Everybody has some sort of narcissistic personality traits. That is how you succeed in life, is by having a small amount of narcissism, a teeny tinge, a little sprinkle, a little salt. That much narcissism is in everybody that is successful. That is what makes you goal driven, is that little tinge of narcissism. Narcissism is not having a piss poor partner. Sometimes you just get a piss poor ass partner, okay? I'm sorry. Didn't mean that your boyfriend or your girlfriend was a narcissist. Just meant they were piss poor.
I was pissed poor, baby. I wasn't narcissist.
Come talk. Let's talk about it in therapy, okay?
Right.
Narcissism is a person that uses manipulation in different types of relationships and situations. I hate the word gaslighting at this point because we use it so much now. But gaslighting a situation where, do you really feel like that? Or it's just so many different little things that make a person a narcissist. And it's hard to diagnose narcissists because they never get help because they don't think that they're narcissists. Right. So from the research that I've done, a small percent of the population even has a real diagnosis of narcissistic personality disorder because narcissists don't think that they need it.
Right.
You didn't have a narcissist boyfriend or girlfriend. You just had a badass partner. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Also on gaslighting, sometimes you just wanted to hear what you wanted to hear.
Did this person gaslight you, or did you just hear like Sunshine just said? What did you hear? Because what I said to you,
they was gaslighting me.
Every now and then, we, especially us women, I can only speak for us women because I'm a woman. I can't speak for men. But we get triggered by certain things that are said or done or whatever the case may be because we dealt with it in our past and we automatically, oh, that's what it is. It ain't. It's just somebody having a weak moment and I took it as that. Sometimes. I ain't saying all the time. I'm not saying that people don't be people out here gaslighting. Let me be clear. But we also have to take accountability that we ain't dealt with our own trauma in the past before we trying to move on to somebody else. And then we take offense to it.
Right. But that nigga was gaslighting me when I said that he was gaslighting me.
Y'all, I'm so tired of buzzwords. I'm so tired of hearing about narcissism and gaslighting. I'm tired of hearing about people being woke.
Ooh,
I am tired of
because baby, I like naps.
Long ones. Like so many buzzwords now. When it comes to mental health, it's exhausting, man. It really is. Because that's when I get people that have been in terrible relationships. It was I dating a narcissist? I don't know because I've not talked to that person. Right. All I have is what you're telling me about the person. Can't diagnose somebody based off of what you're telling me about them. I'm sorry.
Right.
That's facts on facts right there. So yeah, I mean it's just hard. Even past mental health, it's just hard to like dissect and figure out just life in general based on how people buzzword everything.
Yeah, everything is a buzzword now. Everybody is looking for a hot take or that one quote, or like Chastity said, that's something that, oh my God, this was me. Okay, cool. Right. That's all I got at this point. I'm like, okay.
It's even down to the zodiac signs. Where people just assume that like all Aries act the same way, all Cancers act the same way, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, I mean,
Nah.
sometimes I be sharing stuff because I be like, oh, that is me. But for the most part, like that's just me.
That don't
It really
define
has
me,
nothing to
though.
do with the
Right.
fact that I am a Cancer and I was born in July. That's just me as a person because I know
Right.
people. I know somebody that was born on the exact same day that I was born on, and we are two totally different people.
Yeah.
And if you read the definition of Cancer, she is not a Cancer at all whatsoever.
Right. She
Yeah.
might be a Pisces and emotional. Like me.
Well, maybe it's her rising. What is her moon?
Yeah, rising.
Oh my God. I
What's
really
in
don't
the
get
house?
it
What
at that.
house
But a
she
lot of
live
people I
in?
know do. I'm like,
I mean,
I'm just
I
deep.
like it because I like it because I
I
think
mean, it's good
interesting.
information, but I don't let it define me.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess that's the difference. Like,
I
feel
can't.
like-
I'm into that. Everybody, if you the hippie, I'm very true to that. I have my tarot cards and I have read my but I'm still not gonna say that I act this type of way because I'm an Aries. I act this type of way because life situations has made me this type of way. Period.
honey,
Right.
they done molded me.
That's
Point
all.
blank. Period.
Although that little one of mine is a Virgo, if you look up the definition of Virgo, you will see a picture of him beside the definition of Virgo. And if you look up a definition of Cancer, I'm probably gonna be beside it like this.
Wow.
But that just goes to show, like,
But
people
you are more
use
than that.
buzzwords, huh?
But the point is, you are more than that. You are more than that
Yeah.
little list that shows
Right.
up under your zodiac sign. And I think people just take information and run with it for what? Let's get to know people. And
Yeah.
let's let people get to know us. I want it to be both sided. Like, we can't be mad at these people who treating us this way when we don't let them get to know us either. So I want to be clear. We got to open up. I'm not saying become fully vulnerable, because there's a difference between letting somebody know you. You let your coworkers know you, but then you don't let them know your vulnerable side.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference in life? It's like we automatically go into dating with, like, we got to strip down. No, let them get to know you. Let's be friends first.
People don't want to be friends. We live in a microwave society, but we have talked about that. Sarah, everybody wants.
They want a oodles and noodle relationship.
I be wanting
It take
like
longer
a
than
little,
5 minutes and some water in a bowl.
I be wanting to put it in the oven and put it on 400 and let it sit for like 60 minutes. That's what I want. But also outside of that, I be wanting like the cute little dates and all this kind of stuff. I be wanting that. Niggas just don't be giving it to me.
Well, all right, next question. I seen this on your post and I wanted to ask it. How can boundaries relate to mental health?
Ooh.
What do you mean? Give me more.
I went off your post. Hold on. Somebody said boundaries.
Chastity, you raise your hand. What you got?
Yeah, she got some. I'm gonna look at the post.
So for my mental health, and just to save me, I had to put boundaries between a person and fuck it. I can't. There's no way that I can say it without people. Okay, so between my kid's father and him spending time with them and him utilizing my household to do it, I had to set boundaries because every time he would come over here and spend time with the kids, it would trigger the fuck out of me. It would piss me off. And then I was like, okay, I can't continue to make it easy for you to spend time with your kids whenever you're not doing what you're supposed to do to spend time with your kids. Like, there's other avenues and other ways that you can spend time with them. And I'm no longer going to allow it. So I've created my boundary and I have been standing firm on that boundary. And baby, when I tell you, this is I started my my meatless, raw vegan, raw veggies and fruits or whatever. This is the first time that I've done it, and I haven't been so stressed out that I went back to eating meat. Like, I am thriving in this raw veggie and fruit diet, and I love it because I set my boundaries, and I was not gonna let him overstep it. I was not going to let him be like, I really want to spend time with my kids. Well, I already told you how you can spend time with your kids. I gave you the avenues on how you can spend time with your kids. My house that I pay the bills at is not your area to spend time with your kids.
Well,
especially whenever you not. Okay, so
Face. I'm a pause her when she say something she don't have no business, and I'm gonna read the comment. It says, I think the topic of boundaries could help a lot of people understand where some of their mental issues stem from. Like people were saying, he ain't have no business being an adult at the age of 14. Lack of boundaries as kids and even adults can affect a lot. Might be a segment for another day. Blase. Does that help you at all?
I agree with that too.
The biggest thing with boundaries is that one, we have to understand what boundaries are, right? Boundaries, when we talk about boundaries, we always think that a boundary is me saying, you can't do this to me, right? Or I'm not going to allow you to do this, or I'm not going to allow you to say this, or I'm not going to allow you to treat me this way. And that's half of a boundary. Y'all know I love, don't half-ass anything, whole ass it, right?
Right.
So a boundary, if we're going to say, I'm not going to allow you to do this, and if you do, I'm going to do this. That's bringing everything full circle. You can't talk to me like this. And if you do talk to me like this, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. You can't treat me like this. And if you treat me like this, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. It's about consequences and repercussions, right? If you do this thing that I don't like, then this is what's going to happen. Not just because I can tell you that you're not going to do something, but you're still going to do it.
You're still going to do it. What am I allowing? Right.
What happens when you do it? So that's one type of boundary.
Can we talk about the parent boundary though? Because I feel like we always just jump to relationship boundaries. But let's talk about these boundaries where we grew up, where we didn't have anywhere. We was feeling and learning and going through and growing and living everything that our parents were living through, which is why we don't know how to handle life at this point in life. If my mama was getting abused and cheated on and blase back in the day, I think we separated more now, which I don't know if it's more healthy or not. But back in the day, whatever our parents went through, we went through. Is that a boundary issue, and did that create mental health issues?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
We can say that we went through X, Y, and Z and we turned out fine. Oh, I watched my mama, I watched my daddy, blah, 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 and I turned out fine. Did you turn out fine? Are you sure? Tell me what your definition of turning out fine is.
You faked it till you made it fine.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you had the best life ever. The way that you were raised influenced how you deal with people today, period. So I don't understand why we only think that applies to bad things, right? Life in general makes you who you are. So if you grew up in a house, growing up, I didn't have a lot of boundaries, right? I got it how I lived. I did what I wanted to do. So now I struggle, well, before therapy, I struggled a lot with setting boundaries with people. And it came from a multitude of things that happened growing up, right? Just attachment issues or whatever. So I had a hard time setting boundaries with people. Yes, these boundaries definitely play a part in everything. What kind of boundary do you feel like you need to set with your kids or with your mama now, right? Because it's an issue of, you and your mama was the same age, damn near, growing up. So you guys didn't have a lot of boundaries then, but now as adults, you need for your mama to be your mama and not your homegirl. But y'all never had that boundary before. So where do you get that boundary at now? Or your dad wasn't around and while you were growing up.
And now he being your best friend.
Or even now that you're an adult, he want to be your daddy. Sir, I'm an adult. You get your ass.
Hey, you 20 years late.
And some boundaries there. You can be this, and this in my life, but you can't be what you think you are. You can be what you can be what you are, not what you think you are. Those are two different things. I think a lot of shit. I think I'm a millionaire. I ain't there yet.
Girl, I think I sing like Beyonce whenever I be in the shower. I don't, but you know, that's
like that you think you sing like Beyonce. And I know you don't. And I love that for you, friend. Don't let what I think change how you feel.
Okay, period, Pooh. Okay. Yeah, I feel like a part of the boundaries that gets kind of cloudy is that we try to grow our boundaries based on everybody else around us. So my mama said she wouldn't do this and this, and she wouldn't pass this and this. So that's my limit. No, I can have a set of boundaries that Mary won't have. Mary can have a set of boundaries that Chastity B won't have. All the way around the board. Like you have to figure out a lot of our life, believe it or not, you got to figure out for yourself. And so these TikTok videos you trying to pull from, and these aunties and aunts you trying to pull from, and all of that, it's good information to hear. But guess what? You still got to do the work within yourself to figure out what's good for you.
Which essentially is what I've been saying the whole podcast about these hot takes, letting people dictate your relationship based off of social media and just all of that. Like the whole conversation about let me process this with my therapist before I take it to my homegirls. Those are boundaries. And my homegirl, she was like, you know what? I'm pouting because you ain't putting me in your business, but I respect that's how you feel. And I so appreciated that from her. Because that's what I needed her to say in the moment was, girl, you got something going on.
And not being salty. Oh, that's how you feel? Right. I thought we was friends. Shut up.
Please. Yeah, that I appreciated that. But you know what? She's in therapy as well. So for everybody that thinks that therapy doesn't matter in how you communicate, not just in relationships, but in your friendships with your children, everything. Therapy definitely. If you want to have healthy, meaningful, lasting relationships with people, go to therapy. Learn how to communicate outside of what you deem as normal. Because how you talk to people or how you feel about a situation is not necessarily how everybody else is going to feel about a situation or see that shit the same way that you see it. So it's good to learn to see things from other people's perspectives. And sometimes therapy will give you that scope.
Facts. And it's good to see that scope from every avenue. Like we have to realize that the stuff that we don't deal with affect us everywhere.
Yeah.
It affects us on whether we advocate for ourselves at work to get a promotion or not. It affects us whether we're going to be transparent whenever we meet a guy or a girl for the first time and we're going to be who we are. Like it literally it affects the way you parent your children.
It affects
everything.
Things. Think about how much you might take personal that if you go to therapy, you're going to be like, now, am I tripping or am I taking this personal? It's not even that serious.
I hope that my cousins are listening to this.
She said, I hope my cousins are listening to this.
I hope that my cousins are listening to this because y'all took something personal that had nothing to do with y'all. Seek therapy.
I mean that's real though. I have definitely I had to learn the hard way that I am a sensitive person. I know people see me as being strong and I'm always on the go and I do this and that and I'm powerful, blah blah blah. I'm a very sensitive person. I can take stuff out of context super easy. I'd be like, Chassie meant to hurt my feelings and she didn't even know what she did.
I probably did me too.
No, but for real, it took some self-evaluation and some realization through therapy for me to realize that how I took things growing up affects me till today. Even though I try to tell myself I've grown from it, I learned, I'm not going to be that person, I'm not going to go through them things. I can say that all day, but emotionally, I still deal with it.
Yeah, I cry every Tuesday. Tuesday is my crying day. I don't care what's going on. I'm going to cry on Tuesdays. It's just my day to release everything that's going on.
What?
I am a very emotional person. I am very emotional. I have talked to people to try to work on my emotions. Baby, I cry. I cries, and crying heals my soul, and I'm fine with it. And things hurt my feelings, and I be like, it's Thursday. I ain't gonna let it bother me today. But on Tuesday, I'm gonna bring all this stuff full front.
It's funny that she say that because she be the one be telling me, suck it up.
I just
Them tears up. What you crying for? I be like,
that is hilarious.
I cry at everything. I cry when I'm mad. I'm crying when I'm sad. I'm crying when I'm over it. Okay.
I had an orgasm.
Okay. All of the things. Rod said I'm late. Hey, Rod. Thanks for
Rod is always late. Rod, have you watched Grey's Anatomy?
All right. That feel like an insight. All right, let's talk about.
Rod is always late. For late saying Grey's Anatomy at all.
All right, let's talk about the truth and the myths about depression. And before we dive in, I want to play a video about what depression actually is versus what people think depression is.
People who have never dealt with depression think it's just being sad or crying a lot, but it's not. Here are 5 examples of what depression actually feels like from a licensed therapist and someone who's dealt with depression myself. First, seeing the world in black and white, while everyone around you tries to point out the colors to you. Second, it's like dragging around this huge weight that holds you back and keeps you down. Third, feeling everything and nothing at the same time. Fourth, like being disconnected from your own body and feeling at a total loss with yourself. Fifth, feeling so exhausted all the time, even when you're not doing anything. Sometimes even waking up in the morning just to look forward to go to bed at night.
Anyway, I tell you, I don't feel all of those things. Okay. People really throw around depression like it's just everybody. When you say everybody depressed, no. Somebody who deal with depression. It's a whole new level. Like
depression is definitely not just being sad. And I want to let people know that depression also is not just not being able to get out of bed and not being able to do certain things. I have functional depression sometimes. I'm still able to carry on and do everything. We just talked about this last time I was on the show and we cut the cameras off and I broke down and was like, oh my God, y'all. And I had just sat and done a whole.
I didn't mean to giggle.
It's because you're an asshole. I had just said an entire podcast with y'all about mental health, and I was sitting here struggling the whole time because I have functional depression. I can function just damn fine, but I'm still sad. I'm still gonna put my head down and cry a little bit, but I ain't gonna let you know that I'm crying, right? So I hate the myth that depression, like they said, is just, just sadness. Just, oh my God, it's Eeyore all the time with the little cloud over your head.
Right.
It's not just that. There's different levels to depression. There's different types of depression. There's seasonal depression. Like I just said, there's a functional depression. I'm learning that my functional depression is due to hormones. So it's hormonal depression. It's so many different types of depression that people don't even get into. But you being sad for a moment is not depression. So
it's not. And also thinking that something has to trigger you to go into depression.
Yeah, what happened?
No, I am the person. I am the spokesperson for hormonal. I mean, sometimes it's situational. I'm not saying that it ain't, but my body is off, I'm off. Point blank period. Sometimes I could be everything could be right. And for whatever reason, my body be like, girl, bye. Boom, boom, boom. Like,
gotcha.
It's not all, I don't know. I feel like people just relate depression to just like, I've been abused. I've been exploited.
Somebody
I've been
died.
cheated on. Somebody died. Like, no, you could literally have the best life in the world, and depression just hit you like
Yeah.
a ton of brick.
Right.
Like I guess that's the part. That's the piece that I want to like take away from depression, because when I tell people that I deal with depression, they are so shocked. They're like, "Really? You're always happy, right?" I'm like,
Right.
"No, don't let the happiness fool you."
And that's something that I wanted to actually point out to people is I was a person that never thought that I dealt with depression. I had a therapist. We diagnosed me as having depression, even though I don't feel like I do. But okay, whatever, ma'am. I'll go with what you say. But I'm a person that, for the most part, if you know me, like people, if they see me, know me, be around me, I am like a happy-go-lucky type of person. I am rainbows and sunshine. Like, let's eat a pack of Skittles and be happy. Like, that's me. And but then there's times where I am literally in the bed and would not get up out of my bed for like days at a time. And I didn't realize that it was depression. I honestly thought that I was just tired and my body was telling me that I was tired. But then after we like had conversations and just talked about different things, she was like, "You're depressed." And I was like, "No, I'm not." I was like, "I'm just tired. My body's just telling me that I'm tired." And she was like, "No, you're depressed." And I was like, "No, I promise you, I'm fine. I'm not depressed. Like,
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, everything is fine." And in my mind, I was thinking that depression meant like, I was like, I'm not in a bed thinking that I want to harm myself or kill myself, or that I don't want to continue to live, or that I've done something wrong. I was like, I'm just tired. And she was like, "But you don't have the will to do anything. Like you're in the bed for days at a time, and you're just crying or moping or whatever, being in your moment." Like, she, out of all the everything that we talked about, I was diagnosed with depression, even though I still don't feel like that I have it. But I want people to realize that depression does not look like Eeyore. It could be somebody that you see all the time that is smiling and is going to be the person that if you got something going on, they're going to run up to you and be like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, can I help you? Like, what can I do to help you?" They're still willing to help you, and they're going through their moments. And just like Ross said, he was like, I got the Robin Williams depression. Robin Williams was one of those people that we used to see that was like,
all we see was happy, go lucky.
Yeah.
You know, right. Free spirited.
Yeah.
It'll be all as well. I also want to make sure that people understand that depression is not a death sentence either.
Yeah.
It don't mean because I'm diagnosed with depression, I'm automatically suicidal.
Yeah.
I thought that it was. But
I can personally say I would never. I have my kids. I know I live for them. I also have lived in a family who people had attempted suicide, things of that nature. So I'm like, I mean, I can't say I would never, because you know you would never do, but I can honestly say I feel like in my blood I wouldn't do that. But I'm also know that something ain't right. Emotionally, I'm not connected. I'm not happy. I'm not understanding. I'm not in the moment. I'm not okay with. Sometimes I'm super hard on myself about feeling on certain things, and then I make that down. You know what I'm saying? It's so many factors. Depression is very complex.
I feel like you're diagnosing us with your mm-hms.
No, I just want people to realize, number one, realize you have depression, but number two, also realize it doesn't define you.
And that, like you just said, it's complex and it's levels to it. And sometimes it might be something that triggers a depressive episode, but then again, sometimes it might not be. Like, there's literally no one size fits all when it comes to any type of diagnosis, right? Like, what might look like something over here might not be what it is over there. And that is why I don't want people to continue to listen to these TikTok therapists. And like I said, you're letting people tell you what you got going on based off of a 3-minute video, when that's not how this works. It's not how any of this
was a licensed therapist. He said he was a licensed therapist.
Well, he was a licensed therapist.
He also trying to get TikTok famous. Let's be
Even
clear.
with you being,
I'm just fooling with you. I
you
just
know what I'm saying?
saying.
People will be like, "Oh, well, he's a therapist." He is, but he still can't diagnose you because he ain't had no conversation with you. It's just that simple. But people like, oh, like that's when I say TikTok therapists, I don't just mean people that think that they're therapists. It's licensed therapists on there that sometimes just say shit. It's plenty of people with degrees and certifications or whatever else that just say shit. People literally, up until probably just a few minutes ago, thought that Iyanla Vanzant was a licensed
therapist.
Same thing with
Dr.
Dr. Phil.
That Dr. Phil was a doctor.
and that dude failed college. If you look him up, he failed.
I just learned today that the people that do these judge shows, Judge Judy and all of them, you have to give up your degree, your license in order to go on this TV show. Otherwise, it's not ethical. Same shit with all of these up. Like you can't. People get on my nerves.
I was gonna say, and some people didn't even know that Jerry Springer, R.I.P., was actually a judge before he became a TV host, and like a real life judge.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even realize that.
Wasn't he like a state representative and all types of stuff? Like, and he was like, you know what's really gonna get me some bread? Bringing people on the show to act ass.
And saying you are not the father.
God, that brings back memories.
Jared was like, so you slept with your aunt's husband 6 times, and your little girl might be his, but your aunt don't know. And she was like, no, she don't know what she does now. Catherine, could you please come out?
He's backstage.
Oh my god. I'm done.
That's because Jared was a judge.
Of course, Chassie B already pointed out, he said he got that Robin Williams depression. Okay. And then Tierra said, interesting. I may have dealt with some depression, but it's more anxiety. However, the part of the convo makes me think of it differently. I hope so. Because I also deal with anxiety. I also overthink, analyze, rethink, stress about things where my husband or my friends or whoever be like, it ain't that serious. And I'm like, literally, that's anxiety.
I can play back a conversation in my head that happened literally 3 years ago. And I promise you I did this last week. I was thinking about something somebody said to me in grad school and spiraling about it. And then it was like, what? Girls, go take your ashwagandha.
But it's real though. That's real.
I'm gonna tell y'all this story real quick, and then I'm gonna tell y'all about my anxiety. So today, the kids, they doing football like conditioning or whatever. And today, one of the little boys got in trouble, and I was like, "Why is he in trouble? Like, why is he?" So, like, kids that get in trouble at school, they do a different type of workout than the kids that then acted right throughout the week. So, I was like, "What happened? Why he over there?" Now, this little boy is in 3rd grade, and they said, "Well, he ate somebody." He ate somebody's lunch because he remembered that person ate his lunch whenever he was in kindergarten.
That's not funny.
I was like, I get it.
So baby said he get his face back. What you not doing is play with his cheese sandwich.
And that's what I said. I was like, he got his lip back. I don't understand why he's in trouble. Like, I was tickled about it. But dang, I forgot the whole meaning. Oh, so I was gonna say, as far as anxiety, whenever I had to deal with anxiety, or a part whenever I was at Dreamville, I have never in my life seen that many people around at one time. And when I tell you, I was stressed out, and I was like, I am not coming back tomorrow. I am going home. This is too much. My asthma was on overload. I had so much anxiety. That was too many people for me to digest at one point in time. Like, just all together. It was so much. And I was so like, oh my God. Like I was going home. They was like, oh no, it's fine. Fuck y'all. I'm going home. I'm not coming back tomorrow.
Said that, but she did not go home. Let's be clear.
And I didn't. And the next day I was fine, even though I ended up leaving out of the concert early. I didn't stay for the whole thing. Like I went outside and waited on them to come out. But like that anxiety was like so unreal. And I never even realized that I never thought that I would have like an actual anxiety attack or panic attack or anything like that. And then whenever I went back and thought about it in hindsight, I was like, I was just so nervous because of 50,000 people. And then whenever I looked back and I looked at the pictures, and I was like, it was
a lot of people in that bad boy. Okay.
And had I seen that picture before I got to that concert, I would not have went.
Never. Okay. Never.
But OMG, like it gave me so much anxiety. Okay,
no,
sorry.
No, you fine. No, you fine. I'm trying to keep up. Haha, that's me overthinking, rethinking the smallest things, and I hate it. Most of us hate it. Rod Wave. Who's Rod Wave? Oh, Deezy.
Rod Wave is he's the ghetto hood therapist. Rod Wave need therapist.
So sad.
He's so sad.
He's so sad.
Like, he got there in the crowd trying to not cry over a love song.
I don't want
to I've been there before because I remember it was a love song and I didn't want to cry because I was like, I don't want to think about this now.
I don't want to hear that.
I needed therapy.
I'm not finna nobody sit and sing me sad songs, just like I'm not finna pay to see Summer Walker stand there. I know why.
I mean, she's very talented. We seen her at the
Did we see Summer Walker?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, she did good. Her set was good.
I'm not saying she can't sing. Saying she doesn't have a stage presence, and she makes it clear. She looks like she don't really want to be there. She looks like
that's her anxiety. She says she has stage
but
people anxiety or whatever.
Here's my thing, and it's people are probably gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe you like that.
I'm probably gonna agree with you, but I'm listening.
I don't care. So here's where'd she go? Where you go at?
Bathroom, probably. Go ahead.
My thing. If you know that you don't have a good stage presence, that's fine. I'm not asking you to get up on that stage and twerk down. I'm not asking you to get up there and be Beyonce and give me, theatrics and the category is. I'm not asking you to give me that. At least look like you want to be there, sis. Right? Like it's like if but that's why I wouldn't pay my money to go see her.
Right. I mean, I probably wouldn't go pay my money to go see her alone.
Yeah.
But the fact that I was in the moment that I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've only seen her at festivals and stuff like that. But I've seen her and I've seen Jasmine Sullivan as well. And I paid money to see them specifically. And neither of these ladies twerk and dance or do any of that, but they at least look like they want to be on the damn stage. Right. That's all I'm saying.
I get it.
Yeah, I ain't never seen Jasmine Sullivan throw it back and pop, lock, and drop at her either.
That's facts.
But they have a stage presence. They act like they want to be there, whereas Summer Walker stands there like, I don't really want to be here. I'm here because they cut a check. And that's fine.
I mean, but you know what? We didn't get that from Dreamville.
From her from Dreamville.
We did. Yeah. She actually looked like she wanted to. She actually looked like she tried.
Her stage set actually looked better than everybody else's stage
she
set.
She literally laid it out.
She put on a show.
Had couches and decorations or whatever. And she actually
last year at where was we at the Roots Pit, and I seen her at one music fest. I seen her at the. And I at both times I was like, this poor little baby do not want to be here, and I really just want her to go home.
You want to know something? Like I watched I love Ari Lennox, and I've watched like a lot of her shows, and I honestly think that this last one that she did at Dreamville was like one of her best ones. I think that Ari had a whole lot of anxiety and or whatnot, but she was, I guess, extroverted anxiety type of person, where like you could see that she wanted to come out a little bit more, but she didn't. But this year, I felt like God was behind that girl, and
she was glowing
like
and
her body
everything.
was
And I've seen
glowing,
her multiple times.
like
We seen
it
her
was glowing.
at the
She had shea butter kisses all over her body. Because I was like, I would go up there and lick her from head to toe if she asked me to. But
Go ahead, Mary. Go ahead, Mary.
I don't know. I seen Ari Lennox a couple of times as well. But the last time me and Reagan seen her together at one festival, you know, we festival people.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't, she looked amazing and she put on a really good show. Like I said, it's a difference in you. I don't expect some people to get up there and twerk. Jasmine Sullivan is not going to give you choreography. She's just not.
Right.
Her is not giving you choreography.
It's the show.
What they are giving you is that I'm going to sing for you and I want to sing for you versus I'm here because I got to pay this mortgage. Child.
That's right. That's right. I literally just went to see Jill Scott a couple of weeks ago, and she's not somebody who's going to dance and twerk and blah, blah, blah. But when I say she gave me a show, she had the videos behind her. She had the stories that go along with it. She had the musicians on stage. She would be like, it was a whole vibe. Yeah. So I definitely get it. I definitely get it.
But
it's tough. But it's tough because we don't give people, and I'm trying to think on the other side of the avenue, me trying to be open-minded. We already know that Summer Walker has anxiety issues and she don't like to be around people. Well, not like to be around people, but she's uncomfortable around people and things of that nature. But the only way you can make money in this business is to do shows. So how do you find a middle avenue?
Do what they call them, the tiny desk, and charge
right.
But that's not money. Let's be clear.
Go to the Ritz, child.
But here's the thing. So I think that's a nuanced conversation, right? Because if we're talking about how my tiny desk don't bring in money, but if you're going out putting on a show, then that show costs that type of money. You see what I'm saying? So you got to spend money to make
the
money.
Tiny desk, you ain't really spending that much money,
right? Because you're doing it.
I mean, I love a good tiny desk. Let me be clear. But as far as the way we have the music world set up now, we have literally tainted artists by streaming music. I mean, for me, it's great. I ain't got to pay but $9.99 a month. I get as much music as I want. Point blank.
They don't get nothing. They really don't.
But from an artist standpoint, they literally have to tour to make money.
Yeah.
Point blank. Period.
This is true.
And these are, you said your price is your price. Your price is your price.
It is to the point as far as touring, but as streaming, you're gonna get what you get.
No, because touring and if you don't want to, here's the thing, and it circles back around to Summer Walker. I would much rather see her do a tiny desk and pay for that if she's gonna be in the comfort of her own home and give me a show and give me that she wants to be there. I will pay for that versus I'm not giving her a coin to see her stand on that stage and act like she don't want to be there.
But you are the very small percentage of the world.
Well, people are really, but that goes into whether or not you're going to give a person your money, right? This whole conversation stems from the other day. She was on social media with Lil Meech and they was dancing. Everybody was like, girl, why you don't do this in a show? And she was like, oh, because I'm not a twerker. I get that you're not a twerker, sis, but at least act like you want to be there. So my thing to people that complain about her shows, just don't go.
Right. I definitely agree with that. I definitely wholeheartedly agree with that.
I'm not giving her my money.
I wholeheartedly agree with that, but I also feel like in our mind, we feel like we're supposed to get a Beyonce show regardless of who you are.
No. Nobody.
You might not verbalize that, but that's how we treat people. We treat people going to get $100 of dollars.
Beyonce is a whole different level.
That we don't know, that we know we're not. I'm not going to go see Jasmine Sullivan. I went and seen her at the Fillmore last year. That little baby stood in the same place on stage
and it was probably an amazing concert.
It was an amazing show. Not once did I see Jasmine Sullivan pop, lock, and drop it, but she sang me down. I've seen her at the Fillmore sing me down. I've never seen her choreography and
My point is though, the point I'm trying to make though is that's because we respect real music. You have to put artists in regard of they have to deal with the population at whole. And the population at whole treats musician, artists, whatever the case may be, is what they are trending for.
But so at the same time, Summer Walker is trending for her music. Summer Walker has a very good catalog that people want to go out and listen to. She from what I understand,
she does, but she don't have Beyonce trending. Let's be clear. She don't
neither
have
neither does her, and neither does Jasmine Sullivan. But they got people that is gonna come and listen to them stand in the middle of the stage and still give the presence. I think that part.
Her thing at the Fillmore sold out quick. Ari Lennox sold out quick. Like they add on extra tour days.
Well, let's be clear. They sold out quick because they got better music.
Okay,
Summer has really good music.
Summer is one note. Let's be clear. Summer one note.
Oh, okay.
I
can't sing, so
no, I'm not saying vocally. I'm saying song wise. If you listen to her catalog of music, it's along the line of the same thing. It's either happy in relationships, being in relationships, or if in relationships. It's one note. It's for who Summer is for. Summer is for the people that she is for. She has not showed up for them. I think that she did really good at Dreamville. No, I think people expect them more out of her than what they're gonna get. That's what,
right. I feel like she did good at Dreamville, but I might have been drunk by the time she came out there. So at this time, I really didn't care because Walker had already came out. Like, baby, if y'all want to spend y'all money on these trap niggas. Spend the money on them. Oh yeah, and me too. Like, pay these bills, but spend your money on the trap dudes.
I just want to be clear. I don't feel like I'm not saying I don't feel like some artists should get more because I definitely think if we are paying money for her, we should get more. But I also feel like people should be realistic in what they're gonna get from her.
And that's what I'm saying about don't give her your money. If your expectation is for her to get up there and give you Beyonce, and you already know that she's not going to do that, just don't give her your money. I'm not.
Don't give her your money.
Here, I'm in that small percentage. I wouldn't pay to see her either, unless she was a part of a larger tour. Facts. If I'm paying my money, traveled, waited in line, taking
my PTO, facts.
Show. I want to see personality, and I do like her album. That's what I'm saying. The time that I've seen Summer Walker,
I agree too.
Never, because I agree with feel more to see Summer Walker. Right. Summer Walker was at Music One and the Roots Picnic. Now Jasmine Sullivan and her and all of it.
They're not
feel more to see them personally.
But I feel like I think that you're saying it's not comparison as far as what you think, what you like is music.
No, talent.
But
it's not comparison. Let's be clear. It's not. I'm not saying what I feel.
Talent. So what is your definition?
So Beyonce is more on the line of Jasmine than Summer. Let's be clear.
Beyonce is on a level of her own.
Beyonce on a level on her own as far as dancing and singing and putting on performance. I'm talking about as far as straight singing talent wise. Jasmine could take Beyonce under a damn hole. Let's be clear. You done made me cuss on this damn live. I'm just saying.
All the people that I have betted, please send me my money. CBL84 cash sign CBL84. Send me my fucking money because I made her cuss. Send me my money.
I'm just saying, number one, when we categorize as being the same as not. Let's be clear. If you had to pay me to see Beyonce and to see Jasmine, I would pay to see Jasmine 10 times whole. But more the world would see Beyonce because of her whole package. And that's where the world get confused on. I'm not
and it sucks that people have to compare one or the other. I would totally go see both of them. Because I love both of them. And I think that both of them bring something totally different to the table. I love Jasmine because Jasmine, she makes me think about my hotels and all that kind of stuff. And I would
Jasmine is straight down flat-footed talented. Beyonce is talented in the regards that she's talented as a whole.
Beyonce
Right.
is a
And
performer.
She can dance, she
Right.
can sing, she can perform.
And
She
I
can be out of
absolutely
breath
love
and
both
still
of them. And
right.
what bothers me is that we have to say, oh, well, I wouldn't go see Beyonce over
That's
Jasmine,
facts.
or I wouldn't go see
That's
Jasmine
facts.
over Beyonce. I'm going to go see both of them.
Both.
I'm going to go see all of them. I go to a lot of concerts because I love a lot of people. I've seen Beyonce. I've seen Summer Walker. I've seen I saw Soulja Boy. Whenever the first song that he had out was Shootout. Like I have been to a whole lot of concerts. I like people because I like people, and I'm not gonna choose and pick, oh, well, this person is better than this person. Baby, I like this song and I like this song, and I'm gonna go to the concert because I want to go to the concert. I want us to stop putting people against each other. Jasmine is good. Summer Walker is good. Her is good. Beyonce is good. All of them are good.
And that's my point. I feel like we put too much weight on people that ain't asking for it. Summer Walker never asked for us to love her full-heartedly on all of that. We just assumed that we had to.
And the bitch came out there looking cute and had just had twins. I mean, like people.
But yeah.
I mean, she had a little pudge, but I ain't mad about the pudge because baby,
I ain't talking about the pudge. I'm talking about the hip. But anywho,
oh yeah, that too. But I mean, my baby is 9, and I still blame it on the baby weight.
Facts, okay. I wouldn't have all this for these babies. No, but no. I mean, really, in reality is music and artistic nature and all of that is all about your own perspective.
Right. And that's why I said if a person, and I don't care who it is, it's not just musically, it's across the board. If I'm putting my money into something and it's not going to meet my expectations, I'm not gonna keep putting my money into it, which is why I said I've seen her in a festival setting, right? Mm-hmm. Because I've seen her in a festival setting, I know that she's not somebody I would give money to as far as expecting a show from her. I've seen her has been at I've seen her as many times I've seen my damn self at this point, because that all the scenes for all the festivals when she first came out. But because she has such a good presence, she gives such a good show, I will pay money to see her separately. That's it. But if a person meeting your expectations, it's not about putting them.
That's the artistic side of you.
You don't have to pay. You don't have to put your money into some shit that you don't want to see.
That's the artistic side of you. You know how many times I have to argue to my friends or my people or my families, like, you might not understand why I support this artist.
Franklin.
Really? She get on my daggone nerves. No, but for real, like even as an example, Dreamfest, I was over there rooting on Ari. I knew every song she sung. I knew every dance she did. Blase. A lot of people around me didn't. But it's not about that. It's about, don't point at yourself. It's about the fact that I support her as an artist. That's what matters. It don't matter all the other stuff. All the other stuff don't matter. Let's be clear. You don't have to be on the trend. You don't have to be on the trend of I have to like whoever.
Yeah, I'm not liking anybody because everybody else like them. If I'm putting my money in, I'm going to go see that person because that's who I want to go see, and that's it, and that's all. And that's what I'm not eating some shit because everybody else is eating it. I'm not drinking some shit because everybody else is drinking it. Everybody, Casamigos. I don't want Casamigos.
Casamigos is good.
DeLeon is better.
I don't want
Ooh, it is. I like that too.
So boom, there you go. But everybody is on. But then before the Casamigos train, everybody was drinking Hennessy. I've never liked it.
Hennessy makes me fight, and I got 2 kids because of Hennessy.
I like whiskey. I don't like Hennessy.
I've never liked. And Sunshine, if I got a preference, I'm a bourbon and a whiskey girl. Give me a good old fashioned. And that's
I love an old fashioned,
but
I can't make it back home after an old fashioned.
Are not That's not a popular drink. You don't see people on social media
Everybody
talking
want
about they going to the store and get an
margaritas,
old
gin and
fashioned.
juice, right?
Everybody is drinking Casamigos. Everybody is drinking hen. Nobody is drinking. Oh, now watch. Everybody gonna want an old fashioned. I hate telling y'all about my good snacks and my good water and stuff like that, because when I tell y'all about it, then when I go back to the store to look for my stuff, it be gone because y'all go buy everything up because you don't really like stuff. You just be doing shit for social media, and that's why I don't post my snacks no more on social. I'm finished. I'm done.
I'm finished.
But I like an old fashioned. The old fashions just make me really drunk, and I can't drive back home. But I do like an old fashioned, girl.
I love it. It's a place out here called Bourbon Bowl. It's where you bowl and they serve different types of bourbon and whiskey. Oh my God, y'all. They have a smoked old fashioned. They bring it out to you. It's got the little ice globe in it. And when they the thing off, smoke comes out of it. And they done something with some charred wood, and it gives it this really rich, smoky flavor. So y'all gotta come out here and try.
Send it to me.
Stop talking. All right.
That's not talking.
Y'all talking about.
Rob said they got that Hennessy.
They got the Hennessy. Ah!
It's whiskey for me.
That's a video.
It's whiskey for me too. Oh, Chessie come on her own post. saying, listen, I feel like I'm the only person that saw the video. What video you talking about?
I was commenting to Rod's video whenever he was like, they got the Hennessy. It's a hilarious video. I think I got it saved. I think I got it saved on my phone. If I do, I'm going to send it to y'all because it's hilarious.
Please.
Whiskey sour man. You better be a whiskey drinker, sis.
She said, what make us every time? I know that's right, baby. Are we going to give some last thoughts? Because I want to give a last thought.
Yeah.
Okay, you started off. Give your last thought, Chessie B.
Okay, so my last thought for Mental Health Awareness Month is women and men that have got out of relationships and you have kids involved, please seek out therapy for those kids. Because even if you think that it was something that is easy for them and hard for you, you think that they wasn't affected by it, they were affected by it. Okay. I had to learn that the hard way because I was trying to figure out why my kids was acting up whenever I left their dad, because I was like, I did this like easy. Like I made sure they was having fun. They was having fun, but they was still missing him. And they still didn't understand why we wasn't together. So I got my kids therapy, but that was only because somebody told me that it wasn't easy for them and that I should get them therapy, because I was thinking, you're a child. How are you affected by this? Kids are affected. Get your kids therapy.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
All right, Mary J, what's your advice?
I'm gonna advocate therapy. Always therapy it's not just for if you have a problem. It can be for processing, it can be for unpacking, it can be for a multitude of things. Just go talk to, if not this lady, talk to some lady, talk to somebody, get you some therapy, let somebody help you figure out what it is that's going on. That's it. That's all. I'm always going to err on the side of therapy. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. There are several different sites that you can go on to find a therapist that accepts your insurance, that's the skin color you want them to be, that has the religious preferences. Psychology Today is good. Therapy for Black girls is another one. Black female therapist is one. Open Path is one if you want a sliding scale. I have all of these links in a little copy and paste thing that I will be more than happy to share on my Eclectic Clinical Solutions page. Not tonight because I'm tired, but tomorrow. Resources to help you find therapy. And if anybody needs any help finding a therapist or would like me as a therapist, please go visit my page, send me a message. All my information is up there. Y'all have a wonderful night. Sunshine, where you go at? Can't hear you. There you go.
If you are done with the episode tonight, please comment below your trauma, your episode, your therapy that you need. Please comment below. Anyway, we done for the night. We see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye. Okay.